This past year has been a crazy one, so let's go ahead and start off 2021 fast and furious. Welcome back guys, it is your boy Broncos Guru, and it's this week's episode of Boneheaded Boaters of the Week. Our first subject we're going to talk about this week is going to be the holidays. I figured that would be a great way to go ahead and ring this year in right. Everybody always likes to go out and have a good time over the holidays, but some people will go out and have just a little bit better time than others. And then of course we've always got those relatives that show up, and there's always at least one of them who really likes to have a better time than everybody else out there. Kind of like this young lady we'll see here who's out enjoying her holidays on a boat with the rest of her family, and of course she's having just a little bit too much fun. And decides she may as well go ahead and take a swim. Fortunately for her, another boater happened to be passing by and catch this so he could help her get out of the water because her crew's having too good of a time to even realize she's in the water at this point. I have to imagine this guy asked her if she was okay, and she probably responded by trying to order another beverage. However, it's not always the relatives who bring all the fun to the party. Sometimes you'll celebrate the holidays with some of your best friends, and well, a lot of times that can actually lead to more trouble than hanging out with the relatives on a holiday. It'd be something more like this, where they're like, hey, we got this great idea, let's go get this picture for the gram, and the next thing you know, everybody's in the water. Or it can always lead to that kind of fun where you're out there hanging out with your friends on the boat, and you guys decide you're gonna go for it and do a little bit of boat tricks like some backflips out into the water, and somehow you miss the entire ocean. Don't worry, this lady does redeem herself on her second attempt and somehow does land, but how she missed so bad the first time, that one's beyond me. Our second subject we'll talk about this week will be a rough day in the water. Yes, I already know you're thinking some of the other people we just saw have already had a bad day. Some of these people have it just a little bit worse, kind of like this guy right here just trying to get out of the inlet. Apparently, if I'm understanding this correct, my man's going out to try and get some crabs, and I enjoy crabs with the best of them, but I'll tell you what, I'm not quite sure going crabbing's worth this. This clip's actually from WRY Bread's YouTube channel. He's got a full minute-and-a-half clip of this boat trying to get out of the inlet. It's definitely worth going over there to check out. Or sometimes you're just going to have one of those bad days where you just get stopped a little early in your tracks. Sometimes things will look up though. You'll be out on the boat, things are looking good. The boat got up on plane, everybody's out there having a good time and enjoying themselves, when all of a sudden you weren't paying attention, and we're going to go ahead and put the brakes on this party just a little bit early. I would, however, like to see the rest of this clip to see how they got this boat off of that sandbar. And sometimes you'll go out on the water and you'll tango with things that you shouldn't be tangling with, kind of like a big buoy like this. Although I do have to admit, this one is a little mind-boggling. This is a major channel marker, easily should have been on any charts that they're working with, and I can't imagine they didn't see this thing. I have to imagine it is an autopilot error and this boat ran right into it, but man, to be able to come up on something like this with nobody paying enough attention would seem to be a pretty serious captain error to me. And this is another one of those clips where I've not seen the end yet, but I gotta imagine getting this thing off of this buoy looks like it was probably a lot of fun. Then of course there's those rough days out on the water where it just seems like nothing's gonna go right and everything is gonna go wrong, and you just gotta roll with the punches. Sometimes when you're having a rough day, it's not because you're on the water, it's actually because you're having the winter blues and you were not on the water. Maybe you forgot when you were winterizing your boat to go ahead and let the water out of that bucket you were using to give that engine that one last good flush. Last week I ran a clip of some people canoeing down a hill, and apparently this is a thing and lots of people do this. Kind of like we're seeing here. Families get out there when they can't get the boats on the water, decide they're going to go ahead and do that. Some of the kids in this canoe were smart though. They bailed out, and some just didn't have that good sense and decided they were going to go ahead and go down with the ship. And they kind of went down hard. Everybody was okay in this one, but as you'll be able to tell here momentarily, authorities showed up pretty quickly to verify that. I really was surprised by the amount of clips I was sent after seeing this last week. I didn't really think this would be that big of a thing, but apparently, as we mentioned earlier, lots of people are going out there and doing this, but it just doesn't seem like a good idea to me. The clips I'm seeing of this happening don't seem to typically end well. People get out here, there's no real way to control these things, and probably just not a good idea to do this. It looks like it could be a little bit of fun, but it's all fun and games until, well, somebody gets hurt. Of course, right here, all the clips I'm showing you, everybody was verified to be okay in the end, but still it's just a little bit of a wild scene to see these people doing this, and I guess is what the winter blues can cause. Thanks for watching guys, I hope you enjoyed this week's episode of Boneheaded Boaters of the Week. If you ever see anything crazy happening on your waterways, be sure to hit me up on Facebook or Instagram and let me know, and you might see your stories over here. Just like WRY Bread, Douglas Brown 669, Little Shan 1987, Voltage Productions, Ian Wilson, and Mark Jackson 2008 did this week. And if you haven't already, go ahead and drop an anchor on that subscribe button. If not, we're coming to steal your drain plug.